What do you think about the first Descendant? I was going to watch a video and see what they say about it. Now I'll talk about it here.
All right, so yeah, we got to talk about the first Descendant. I heard that this game was kind of like Anthem without jetpacks, Destiny, Warframe, all rolled into one.
It's like all the
then
games.
There's this right here, of course. It says co-op looter shooter. The first Descendant dethrones Elden Ring as Steam's top seller, which is impressive, but...
Isn't that funny how a free game is the top seller? Man, how the hell does that happen? What the hell? How did that work?
Only 43% positive early reviews frame a rough start overall. We're going to talk about what the dev team is doing right now to adapt and try to fix this game currently, because there have been some major issues. And yeah, we're going to talk about my own personal experience with the game as well. But you know, the numbers are pretty impressive currently, because you got to consider that we got 207,000 players on the game.
Oh,
right
is that
now.
true?
And
wow, what the fuck? Let me actually pull it up and look myself, because this video came out yesterday, so I want to see it right now myself. We'll look over here. The first Descendant. Okay. Charts. Damn, it's actually retaining a lot of people. I guess this is server maintenance, by the way. They had server maintenance. Holy shit. That's crazy. I don't think 200K, by the way, is like a it's not a crazy, unbelievable launch, but it's like outside of, it's not in space, but it's in the stratosphere, right? It's still huge. Big launch, but it's not Helldivers, Pow World, Elden Ring, right?
The weekend, of course. This game is a free-to-play title. That free entry,
that's why it's best
helps
selling.
that number, you know, rise up. So we'll see how many players
that's a good point.
actually
He's bringing
stick
up
around.
Here. Very good point. That the ease to access of free-to-play will make the numbers higher. Very good point.
If the dev team can fix all the issues, and I'm kind of curious to see what happens as players get past like the honeymoon phase and into more of the microtransactions that they're going to be experiencing no matter what with free-to-play. And yes, will this game end up like Anthem, where it gets very redundant? That's what I really, really want to talk.
It will. The reason why, one of the reasons why, is the way the weapons are designed. So all of the sniper rifles, basically the bolt-action sniper rifles, are like specialty weapons. So you can't play a full sniper build, and you also can't do it with shotguns either. And melee is very rudimentary. Like, you can't get something like an energy sword, a gravity hammer, or something like that. So, like Destiny, yeah, but, like, I'm not, like, I don't care what Destiny does, right? I don't give a shit. But what I do care about is what this game does. And so, like, I would enjoy the game more if there was more different things that I could do playing the game, because, like, I feel like there's not as many choices as there could be. And I wish that there were more choices. And I think that it's unnecessary, the restrictions they have on those choices.
Well, because I've been seeing some reviews currently, and so far my early impressions is, yeah, the gameplay is pretty snappy. I really do like the abilities, and the progression does feel really nice. And the traversal, as you can see right there, I really do like the traversal.
Movement and gameplay in this game are a 9. They're great. This game does not have a problem with movement and gameplay. It has a problem with systems and design.
In this game. So in some ways, yeah, so far the game has some really cool stuff going on with the gameplay, but you may remember that also happened with Anthem. They had amazing abilities, jetpacks, and then it kind of became very, very redundant. And that's definitely one of the things I wanted to talk about right here.
I think he's saying redundant. I think maybe probably repetitive is a better word. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think we all know what he's talking about. What's wrong with design? I think that the way that, as I said, like the weapons are designed is kind of boring. I also think that the character progression is kind of boring. And this is like, as I played it more, I've only played it for 8 hours, right? But that's what I think the game is going to turn into, and I will play more of it. But this is my first impressions. Also, the mobs are boring. You're fighting a lot of the same enemies. I think that that's changing a little bit now that I'm getting into like level 20 and like level 30 stuff. But overall, I think that there are a lot of the same mobs. And none of the mobs really are... So, like, I'll give you a good parallel, right? So, Remnant 2 has, like, you know, like the big like writhing mass that you have to, like, there's the metal plates on it that you have to shoot the metal plates off of it. And it really changes the way that you play. I think that so many of the mobs in the first Descendant effectively function the exact same. Like, you have the same strategy for killing them. I think the worst example of this is the shield guys. Because I think of the shield guys, how do you think that you should fight against a shield guy? My first impression is going to be like hunters in Halo, right? You have to get around them. But you can't do that. So it's just you shoot the shield and then you shoot them. That's so boring. I don't know. I think that's boring design.
There is the impressive self-contained missions are kept locked behind errands, as highlighted in this preview for like review in progress from IG. And I totally agree with that. I'm a little bit worried about how much I can withstand over like one.
And so, like, if I were them, how would I like to see that changed? I would like to see it changed where the shield has higher health, the mob has higher health, and it turns around slower. I think that would make a more varied gameplay experience and be more interesting. Kind of like the Knights in Anne Orlando, something like that. There's a lot of example.
100 hours, 200 hours. But then again, I have not gotten into the end game, but what's really holding my attention so far are the characters that I have yet to unlock, because there's an entire progression system behind that, like with your current character you're playing as, and then also you have that 4 characters that you have yet to unlock. Some really cool modules that you can equip to your character itself and the weapons as well. Ultimately, there are problems with this one. The mixed rating is very telling. If we go into the Steam reviews, we have this right here: Ultimate Bunny's ass will carry the game's financial success.
And if you look at the store, it is a bestseller.
Probably. Most likely.
We got he's some, not even that wrong.
Recommended here. And then we got the not recommended ones, which says Descendants cost $300, $600 to buy. That's not, $300 or $600. I think it's at the in-game currency, but cash shop.
No, this is an inaccurate number. It is. It's an inaccurate number. Like 0.1 hours at review time. If this really was a deciding factor in him not playing the game, he wouldn't have made this review at 0.1 hours and played for 7 more hours. I mean, like, really, right? But yes. And also, like, if you have to pay... So I have the same perspective on this that I have in PoE, is that if you have to pay for certain advantages, but they're one-time payments, there's no gambling attached to them, and the game is provided for free as a baseline, I actually find that to be okay. Because I view that as a buy-in to the game in the same way that you would purchase a game for money anyway. PoE is okay with that. PoE does that, and I'm okay with it. I feel like this is the same. But here's the difference. I think that they are going to keep adding new stuff like this and power creeping in order to get people to keep buying new things. Where a PoE, yeah, they make a new, stash tab or something like that, but it's not in the same proportion.
Is fixed at 250 and
power creep is pay to win.
Damn, just short. What can you expect from Nexon? So you could see how they're nickeling and diming people with the microtransactions. People aren't very happy about that at all. And then I've seen this several times where people want, kind of like a mid rating, not like complete downvote. Steam needs something in between the thumbs up and thumbs down. It's rough, not awful, not great. I'm kind of getting the hint from that with this one. I feel like there's some rough patches with it. The gameplay,
I think the game is okay. It's okay.
Does feel ultimately smooth, but there's also some jankiness with that. Yeah, then we have this one right here. It says, not recommended. This game released with more real money, purchasable items, and actual gameplay mechanics. Interesting.
That's crazy.
Enough, I even bought the currency to buy the battle pass. Jokes on everyone. In-game currency that's been purchased thus far. Is it being delivered to players? What a joke. More on that in just a moment. A reply from the dev team.
I never had that.
This game plays very much like Destiny, and the AI is basic. Yeah, so far with the AI, I'm playing on normal difficulty. I'm not expecting anything mind-blowing with the AI since it is on normal difficulty. I'm just hoping that once I get into like hard or up the tier, that it's not just like buffing the health. It would be nice if these dev teams can actually implement some sort of new abilities for enemy AI, or,
Here's what I hope they don't do. This is something that I don't like with Remnant too, which is interesting because, like, I view Remnant 2 as the masterclass in games like this. That is, in my mind, the best game. But the one thing that I don't like about Remnant 2 is the input reading of targeting. Like, whenever you input read to their head and they go, fuck you. Fuck you. That's so gamey. That's so cheesy. Stop it.
I'll make them tougher in different ways than
that.
just buffing their health. We'll have to find out about that one. But the open world, how it's structured, is definitely interesting. One of the things I have to give kudos to the dev team is the fact that it's very easy to get around this world. It is kind of open world. I shouldn't say it's completely open world. It's more like battle zone.
It's like you zone. It's like Monster Hunter, right? Kind of, where you can like go to different, like, you know, important points, but it's not really open world.
More like, I guess you would compare it to
It's like
Destiny
zones, yeah,
in that regard, or even Warframe. And then when we talk about performance and the visual fidelity of the game, the graphics, I was pretty impressed. You know, I just kept it on default. I think it's running on all.
I think the graphics and I think the performance is great. Like, it's performed totally fine on my 4090 PC. Wow, what a surprise. But the graphics, I think that there is a certain degree of sameness and boring that this game has. This game doesn't... It has kind of like the same problem that something like Ashes of Creation has. That it's not striking or visually compelling. It's just not. It's an Unreal problem. Yeah, like, this game is, like, probably one of the best examples of, like, whenever I say, like, a lot of Unreal games have, like, a sameness, it feels very much like this. And it's so hard for me to actually explain what I mean by that. But I think a lot of people can... You guys see kind of where I'm coming from? Yeah, right? And so I can't identify what the problem is. I'm just saying, like, that's what it is. It's art direction, not Unreal. That's probably a good point, too. I think it's probably... people are blaming it on Unreal, but the reality is that I bet good developers and good artists and, you know, like a more well-funded or focused art team usually is supposed to overcome that. And so the lack of overcoming that makes Unreal look bad, but it's actually the developer that just hasn't developed their own style. That's probably true.
I've got a 3080 Ti, but so far everything has been running very smoothly. Minimal
3080
glitches.
is pretty good.
You know, I'm not falling through the world or anything like that currently. I know people have had crashes, they've had problems getting into the game, but that's going to be expected when you have a game first launch. I myself, I played probably like 6 hours after initial launch, and I was able to get in very, very quickly. Have had no issues with connection.
I never had issues either.
The connectivity of the game, haven't been booted from servers or anything like that. We'll see if that changes. I'm kind of curious to see how this game holds up during the weekend, of course. Yeah, another thing is back to the microtransactions issue, because I've seen many people mention that. Yes, it is definitely an issue. Yes, this is a free-to-play game. But also, I did note that a lot of the characters you can unlock, you can do that in-game without even purchasing them. So that's good news at the very least. But of course, ultimately, I'm very worried about the microtransactions. There's no way around it. Like, this being a free-to-play game, I just really hope that they don't get super severe.
Well, if they get bad, then just stop playing the game. If you feel like the game's microtransactions, like, for example, that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Classic WoW. Because you can just buy gold. I don't know. I think that's weird. Like, maybe I'm being stupid, but, like, that's just the way I feel about it. And at the end of the day, like, if you feel like the game isn't rewarding or fulfilling because of that, then, I mean, if that's the way you feel, it's not like you can really be wrong about that. That's just how I feel.
As we keep going, already they're doing some shady stuff with how you purchase those coins. But anyway, let's go and talk about what they're doing, the dev team is doing to actually adjust and fix things. Of course, there were some major issues at launch with people actually receiving their currency, their in-game currency that they purchased. So the dev team went out there and replied saying, here's some known issues that we found after the official launch on July 2nd. They have this whole list of bugs that they're currently addressing. It's a massive list. I'm not going to highlight every single thing on there, but they're definitely working on that. They're working on a current patch,
which is good.
And also they did have this to say as well right here. Check it out. It says this: we have identified an issue where There's a delay in the delivery of Caliber upon payment and Twitch drop reward. That's where a lot of the negativity came in from the initial launch.
I just, like, any launch problem a game has, I don't really care about it. Because every launch problem goes away after a week. And I'm going to be playing a game, if I like the game, I'm going to be playing it longer than a week.
Of this game, they did finally update this, saying the Caliber delivery issue has been resolved. New purchases will be delivered within 10 seconds. Re-enter the shop for prior purchases.
Oh, that's why I
Resolving
got those.
Twitch drops delay is ongoing.
I didn't even know that.
We will provide, all sorts of stuff here. As you can see, I'm going to open that up so you guys can see what they're going to be doing. For those of you,
just because you don't care doesn't mean others don't. And they have every right to review based off of that, but I have every right not to take their review seriously or not to prioritize the value of their review over the things that I think are important. I think every negative review is valid. Like, unless you're like, I microwaved my cat, so I'm going to vote this game a 0. Unless you're doing something like this, it's a valid review. You have every right to review a game. If you think that the launch experience was bad and that is enough for you to give a downvote, then you have every right to do that. But I have every right to ignore it too.
You that kind of got screwed over at the launch of this game. They're really trying to work around the clock, make everything smooth. Let me know if you guys got your Caliber, if you got your Twitch drops, or if you feel screwed over currently. I know a lot of people are frustrated with how this one launched. But yeah, the Steam reviews keep rolling in here as I make
never
this
had that
video.
problem.
People are having trouble logging in. Big time concerns about microtransactions. Good game, but my computer sucks, so I can't play.
I think that if people are really unhappy about the microtransactions inside of the game, they need to stop playing the game. It's people don't understand that, like, it's like they're willingly getting in the water and being minnows. And they think that because they're not buying them, that they're not part of the ecosystem. They are providing an ecosystem for those whales to exist in. And I think that if you truly want to protest the microtransactions in certain games, the only thing that you can really do is not play the game. That's what you can really do. So if you don't like it, like, I hate to see these reviews complaining about microtransactions, and it's like 1 hour on record, and then like now they've played for like 2 or 3 hours. Like, just don't play the game, right? That's it. That's what the whales want. Yeah, exactly. Tell that to Marvel Snap. I feel like Marvel Snap has pretty ethical microtransactions, if I remember right. Like, people even said that they were pretty good. I think that there's definitely a spectrum that microtransactions exist in, but these games, I think, are way outside of that spectrum in a lot of cases. It's trash? Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, I remember, like, I heard it was good. If it sucks now, not anymore, yeah, fuck them. Who cares?
Very generic.
Yeah, they suck.
Buy skins shooter. The gameplay is boring after 1 hour, and everything good skin-wise is locked behind a paywall. With no way to buy in-game currency. Resident Evil 4 level dialogue.
That's actually a really good point. The story in the game is garbage. It's a bad story.
Yeah. Mentioning that, with the story with this one, again, it's not going to be like overly impressive. There's times where I actually laugh, so at least there's that. It's definitely a story where I'm just going to be more...
I laughed because it was bad, though. With, like, that Jeremy guy. I was like, wow, haha, this guy's really a fucking idiot, huh?
Or, like, laughing with it or something.
Yeah.
Than being absolutely ultra serious. But, yeah, also people are having some performance issues as well. Another Nexon cash grab. Here's a more detailed performance issues as well. Another Nexon...
Okay, at least this person didn't keep playing.
On cash grab. Here's a more detailed review here. Reminds me of Overwatch 2. Had plenty of potential, lots of potential. But the moment I opened it, I was bombarded with an overflow of information and predatory monetization practices. I know cosmetics are a cash cow in the gaming industry, but making a good game first and developing a solid, loyal fan base not only gives you long-term success rather than just a short-term squeeze, but let
pride, bro. This is just...
You sleep at night with pride that you actually created something instead of just running a soulless business. Ooh, the burn. Money's great. Everyone wants to make money, etc. But there are things better than money out there, and this game isn't one of them. Not.
That's fair. That's fair for him to say that. I think that's okay.
Yet. Maybe feedback will lead to a redemption arc and change. I've seen it happen before. It is possible for a developer or publisher to pull themselves out of the dumpster and create something great when previously blinded by greed, but it's not common. Only time will tell. Might play this for a bit here and there, but from the looks of it, this doesn't seem grind-worthy despite the grind. Yeah, and they've got a lot going on with the grind with this game as well. That's, again, since it's free to play, ultimately they're going to try...
I think that if this game ends up having seasons and resets and stuff like that, I couldn't really see myself going back and playing through a season of this game again, because I would probably just be going and doing the exact same things that I already did. I don't know if it would be, like, transformative enough. That won't happen? Yeah, well, let's find out. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Like, and also, like, for Path of Exile, for example, I haven't played PoE ever since... When was the last League I played? I think I played the one after Crucible, didn't I? I know I played Crucible a lot. There's one more that I played, like, after. I was like, maybe one more. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, the Grave... Kalandra, no. After that, Toa, no, not Toa. Anyway, well, the point is that I played the... I play, like, every 3 leagues or every other league of PoE. I don't play every single one.
With
Affliction?
these games,
Yeah, it could have been.
in the game
I think it was
for
Affliction.
as long
Yeah.
as possible, so I'm very worried about that. But, you know, again, like, back to the positive stuff here, we do have someone saying it is a beautiful looking game and it is not woke at all. I will give it a thumbs up mostly because of that and because it is a free game, but the game is not for me. I was hoping it was an open world type game, maybe like Division 2. It's not at all. It's somewhat open areas, but it feels like a virtual simulated shooting grounds. Doesn't feel like
the open world areas of the game are not dynamic or interesting enough, and there's no reason for them to not improve that. Because if you're playing the game, the opportunity cost of doing the open world content is too much different than just doing the base content of the game and doing missions. So if they made better open world content in the same way that Diablo 4 has that, I think that it would just make the game better for everybody. I would like that. Like, I like the Diablo 4 open world vibe in the first week of the game. I do. I think it's great. So why not have a little bit more rewards in the open world? Have some cool little events that people can do out in the open world where they fight with each other, and there's like more than 4 people in an area, and you're not just running the same missions over and over. Like, I don't see, like... Because, like, the missions are like this, and, like, open world is like this right now, right? And so if you made open world like this, people, if they wanted to be efficient, would still want to do the missions. But they could also do the open world and get cool stuff there too. And that's all I'm saying. PvP zones? I mean, there's a lot of things they could do, right? Maybe that's one of them.
World I would care about. It doesn't feel human.
They 100% love events like this? Yeah, they'll make the base game.
World made up with chunks from history of our world, like it was some kind of dream. I can't wake up. Interesting take here. Yeah, ultimately reviews are all over the place currently. A lot of people dealing with crashing, 4 hours to craft your first basic gun, then what in...
Why would you need 4 hours to craft a gun? This is a problem that a lot of, like, of these games have. It's like, why... Like, Clash of Clans has this. It's really bad. Why does it take a certain amount of time? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because they handicap you, they put ankle weights on you, and then you have to pay to take the ankle weights off. It's awful design. It's so... I really wish that... I wish gamers could rise up and stop this, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Game crafting is...
It's consumer unfriendly.
Hours.
It's not even consumer unfriendly. Because unfriendly is like, you know... You like, you're walking into Walmart and, like, a guy gives you a rude look. This is, like, consumer hostile. It's like the fucking homeless guy gets in front of you, and unless you give him $5, he's going to attack you and throw up on you. That's basically what's happening here.
I'm out. So, yeah, all over the place with this one. Let me know how you guys are enjoying it. I have a feeling this might end up being like another Anthem situation where people will kind of get in here, enjoy it at first, and then it gets a little...
I don't think it's going to be like Anthem. I think Nexon is very heavily invested into this game, and they will improve the game and make it better. Now, will it be as good as Destiny? Will it be as good as Warframe? I haven't played either one of them, but it seems like from the people that have played them, that doesn't seem to be the case. So where does this game exist in the ecosystem? It's hard to say.
Bit or a lot of bit grindy and redundant with the mission structure and mission design. So I'm a little bit worried about that one.
It's very redundant. The missions are already redundant.
But so far, initial impressions are good graphics, good visuals, snappy gunplay, smooth. For me personally, not dealing with
the bosses are decent. I've done 2 of the bosses now.
Much in the way of performance issues or disconnects. I'm not running like an ultra 4K in that regard. I'm just playing
and I've had no
safe.
problems.
I'm running at like 1080p. That's no big deal for me. But yeah, you know, for those that want to push 4K, even 2K, they might be having issues there. But anyway, yeah, we'll see how this one pans out. Might be fun to hop in, you know, with friends during the weekend, goof off with it. But we'll see if it ultimately can last for like 6 months to a year. That's when people really start getting critical. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more First Descendant. I'm covering Diablo 4 as well. I'm going to be actually playing the brand new Spiritborn class from Diablo 4 at Blizzard HQ. So stay tuned for that if you want to see that. But anyway, thank you all, and I will see you all next time. Take care.
It doesn't take long.
All right,
I think that was a pretty fair assessment. I think obviously like he's showing a lot of gameplay and everything from like the very beginning of the game. So it's evident that he hasn't gotten this far. And at the time of this video, I think that makes a lot of sense. Neither had I. I think that what's really going to matter is that how long is this game going to be popular? How long are people going to enjoy playing this game? And will it actually retain an audience? Because one thing that's really important about this game versus like Remnant 2, right? There's the video right there. Give it a like. I've watched a lot of his videos before. He made a lot of stuff about Diablo 4. I watched that tons of times. So here's what the issue is, right? Is that you have these games that are like live service games, like Remnant 2. Let's look at Remnant 2. This is an amazing game, and only 3,000 people are playing it right now. But it doesn't matter because it's not a live service game. People beat the game, they did what they wanted to do, and they finished it. That's the way it goes. That's the way anything goes. I finished Remnant 2. Yeah, I'm on the last boss. I got to the last boss. I was like, God, this is fucking hard. And so I just was like, okay, I'll do this later. And I never really went back to it. It's the natural lifespan of a product. Yeah, I would say so. I'd 100% recommend this game, by the way. If you're looking for a looter shooter game that's really good, this one's amazing. But First Descendant is a lot different than that, because First Descendant is a live service game, which is very different. Live service is a totally different dynamic. So I don't know how it's going to go. I quit on the final boss because it was laggy and unplayable. Yeah, I don't know about that. DLC is really good too, very lore intensive. I don't know about the lore. Remnant 1 from the Ashes is still a great game. They're both great games. I think Remnant 2 is decidedly much better than Remnant 1, but I think Remnant 1 is a 9. It's at least an 8.5. Aren't TOS crazy? Giving access to where you click and data on your computer, very personal data. That's what people say. I think a lot of TOSs are like that. Am I really going to complain about this game's anti-cheat whenever people play Valorant that has kernel level anti-cheat? No, I really can't care enough about that. I understand everybody, like with privacy and things like that, I think that what you should do is you should make a decision based off of what you want to do. If you feel uncomfortable, don't do it. If you don't care, then do it. There's plenty of people who say, I'd rather have kernel level access to my computer from this Chinese-owned company than have a fucking cheater in my game. And I think that's totally fucking subjective. It's valid, right? That's their opinion. That's their right to have that opinion. Do your own research? Yeah, that's about right. Damn, I wish Anthem was successful. What did everybody think? It's a Korean grinder made by Nexon. It's free, meaning I'm fine with checking it out. Yeah, sure. People acting like Warframe doesn't have the exact same monetization blows me away. Haven't played it myself. I had a sponsorship lined up for them. Ended up not doing it for no particular reason other than me just being lazy. Eventually, I will play Warframe. I'm interested in trying it out, and I look forward to playing it. But I just haven't done it yet. Warframe started off this terrible, and look what it grew into. I think that's true. But you can unlock all the characters just by playing and grinding for them. The I have to pay instead of grinding the game reviews are wild to me. Well, we'll see what happens, right? I just don't know yet. Warframe does not have similar monetization at all. Yeah, I can't compare because I just haven't played it, so I don't know. The worst part is the anti-cheat's running whether you're playing the game or not. Again, that's up to you. I don't know the details to that. Asmongold argument more nuance, and it's a mark. The gaming, other real-life media controversies he argues on. Well, I feel like if you're unhappy with something that I said about another controversy or whatever, the odds are it's probably just because you disagree with it. I feel like I'm pretty reasoned with a lot of things. But Warframe is way more heavily monetized lately. Chat's coping since they love the game. Can you trade premium currency in First Descendant? I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't tried to trade with anybody at all. How many people are playing Warframe right now? Let me actually see for myself. I don't know. Warframe. Wow, that's pretty good. That's a really impressive player base. 50K? Yeah, that's a good player base. Absolutely. Now, is it crazy? No, it's not crazy, but it's good. You can't trade premium currency? Oh, it's too bad. That's only Steam, too? Yeah, you're right about that. But I think that if I don't know if I'm going to play another one of these games anytime soon. Like, for me, so I'm not going to play this game right now. Actually, I don't even need to log on to show you guys. I 100%ed the entire zone in the new Wuthering Waves patch. I was on a call for a thing that I needed to do for like one of my companies, and or like it was actually like an update basically, and I had to be there for it. I am 100% out of every single zone. It's all done. So yeah, you can trade premium currency in Warframe. Yeah, exactly. Certified mint picker. Oh, not just mint. I picked everything. But I did actually have to pick the mints in order to upgrade the new character because I ran out of the ones that I could buy on the store in town. So yeah, I went and I did that. Will you play Descendant Zero tonight? I will not play it tonight. I will play it tomorrow. That's what my plan is right now. I'm going to play it tomorrow, and I'll play it pretty much all day tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Descendant Zero. I would stay up and play it. The truth is that you guys can watch Tectone, you guys can watch other people play it tonight, and I'll be back on tomorrow. You know, yeah, so it's not that big of a deal. But I'm not ending right now. I'm just saying, like, that's whenever I will play Zenless Zero. Are you quitting Wuthering Waves? No, I'm not. I'm playing it less because I've already beat all the other secondary content. Like, I haven't done Hologram 6. I'm honestly just like, bro, like, I was doing the monkey one, and he does, like, these, like, little spirit things, and I just keep getting hit by them because I'm just playing badly. I'm just playing badly. I'm just being bad. Like, that's all there is, just being bad. And so I just need to play better and do a better job, and then I'll be able to beat them. So, yeah. Zenison Zero is a brave name, not gonna lie. Yeah, you're right. Have you finished Grand Blue Fantasy? Well, what about... So, how about being able to auto-play Lucilius? And complete it with S+++ rank? Is that finishing? I feel like it kind of is. Yeah, I think I did. I think I finished it. And having... do you have Sandalphon? I don't, actually. Really? Video? Yeah, I made a video of it. I even have the... what do you call it? Like the... What are they? Supplementary damage. Like 5+. Like, I have them on, like, I think 2 different characters now. Like, I completed everything. I have all of the different, like, items that are, like, fully upgraded. Like, I have everything. So, yeah.